Before we get started, I just need to say thank you. A month ago, railroad economics did not exist. Today, because of your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your support, this channel has reached hundreds of thousands of people already. I truly believe that without all of you, Union Pacific probably never would have noticed this little channel, let alone allowed railroad economics a couple of minutes to speak with big boy engineer Ed Dickens. So this opportunity, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to all of us. I also want to sincerely thank Union Pacific and their communications team for making this opportunity possible. They certainly didn't have to, and I truly appreciate the trust they placed in me. One quick note before we begin. Union Pacific paired me with WKBN reporter Sydney Brown for the media availability, and we simply took turns asking our questions. We were standing basically shoulder to shoulder in front of Ed, and Big Boy's right behind him. So while Sydney asked her questions, my camera was rolling as well. That's why you can see her little WKBN microphone. I've included a few of her questions because I really think they help set the stage before we get to mine. One thing to keep in mind is that maintenance was going on Big Boy. It was being performed like right then while we were doing the interview, just a few feet behind us. So the audio during that portion isn't quite as clear, but it does clear up once my questions begin. So just thank you for bearing with me on that. And if you would like to skip ahead to my portion, you want to go to about the 5 minute and 30-second mark.
He's also the man who was instrumental in restoring this machine, which is arguably the largest locomotive restoration project undertaken in recent memory. It was quite an accomplishment. And of course, he's been leading us on this coast-to-coast tour.
It is an honor to see you in Struthers, Ohio. Can you tell me about this coast-to-coast trip so far?
Well, the honor is all ours. I mean, look at this crowd of people. This is what we have seen. I almost cried talking about it. It really is emotional. We have seen these crowds since we left Cheyenne. Now, people love the Big Boy. It's iconic. It's really an icon locomotive. But this is what we've seen. You can feel the excited energy. It brings people together. They're cheering just as we pulled in. I don't know if you can hear it from where you were standing. They were singing our national anthem. And right when they concluded, we greeted them. What a wonderful community event it is everywhere to be.
And you've been a part of this, as Robin has just mentioned, from the start of the restoration process. Can you walk me through a bit of the past? It's been a few years now.
Yes, so my team and I, there was myself and about 9 people, wonderful people in this team working tirelessly behind me. Some have retired, we bring them back to help out every now and then. But it was a team effort. We're talking hundreds of people helping us on the Union Pacific Railroad. Everybody from supply to finance, labor relations, logistics, you name it, they were involved. So it's really wonderful. We get the facial recognition up front. But the true accomplishment is the Union Pacific and all the work that we do.
And the team has been so helpful, and we've been just so excited to have it right here in town. But this locomotive, can you give us some of the living history we're seeing?
Well, there were 25 of these. There was the first group of 20 built in 41, another group of 5 built in 1924. It's a 4884 locomotive, iconically known as the Big One, world's largest operating steam locomotive. And it's 7,000 horsepower, 135 feet long. If people happen to see aerial views of it, they'll understand. The locomotive is massive. It weighs 600 tons, which is the weight of 3 of our standard locomotives on the railroad, produced at 7,000 horsepower. I think what's fascinating is several things. First of all, it's 2026, and a Class 1 railroad is operating, running for this purpose, a big boy steam locomotive. And that's really, I think, what people wrap their head around. And of course, when they see it, all morning long, every single day, we see it with our own eyes. The looks of amazement, the looks of terror. And people are just a little bit too close, and they really don't know what to expect. And around the corner, out of the trees, comes this Union Pacific big boy producing this massive horsepower, ground rumbling, the whistle screaming, and you can feel it vibrating in your body. I mean, it's a massive machine, and people talk about that, and people want to see it for themselves. And here they are, downtown Struthers, to get a look at it for themselves.
And this has been an amazing success so far. It seems like you've no doubt inspired so many young men and women to look into a career at the railroad. The people that are in awe and have decided this is what I want to do. What steps do they need to take if they want to, in the future, they want to be on your team?
Well, that's really simple. Listen to your parents, get good grades, be a good citizen, be a good worker. And that means that you just be a good citizen, get good grades, do the best you can in life. Whatever it is, follow your passion. Whatever you want to do, whether you want to work on the railroad or any career, it starts with a good education, a good foundation. Keep yourself out of trouble. Don't hang around people that are bad. Pick good friends, but absolutely do the best you can. Straight A student. Whatever you do, follow your passion.
The response has been overwhelming. It's not just rail fans, obviously. Is this bigger than Union Pacific anticipated?
You know, people ask that a lot, and several of us knew that this would be very popular. When we get to a community like this, it's very heartwarming. As I mentioned, it's emotional to see this. You know, people love celebrating America's 250, and what better way to do it than the world's largest operating steam locomotive, Union Pacific Railway.
Last question for me, just amazing success this has been. Maybe something happens in the future with UPNS, we don't know yet, but is there any chance we will see you and your team again with Big Boy or one of your other steam locomotives?
Well, like we always say, you know, we don't talk about, we don't announce our plans, we don't have any plans currently. As we work through, we develop our plans as the business dictates. So that sounds like a canned answer, but it's true. You know, we go where they tell us to go. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Time. Wow, this is super.
Going into this, Union Pacific was very clear that they would do their very best to get me a little bit of time with Ed, but that time would be very limited. It would probably just be 2 or 3 minutes. There were two questions I had really hoped to ask: what it cost to restore 4014 and what it costs to operate it today, whether that's measured per mile per day or with some other metric that they use. Since I've never been able to find that information anywhere, including in annual reports, I suspected those numbers were not public. Because railroad economics is a financial channel, I thought it was only fair to let Union Pacific know ahead of time that those were the questions I intended to ask. They let me know in advance that they don't discuss those figures publicly, and I completely respected that. Rather than spend our limited time on questions I already knew could not be answered, I focused on asking Ed about topics he could discuss and share with all of us. I normally have very scripted videos, I don't go off the cuff, but it's Big Boy, and I'm going to make an exception and I'm going to geek out with you guys for just a little bit. First, my thoughts on Ed Dickens. What a just a down to earth guy, a class act. Um, did not just everything you kind of want him to be. He is, and for those of us that really follow trains and things like that, the man can accurately be described as a legend, certainly in the rail preservation community, but in many ways, he's almost the face or a face of Union Pacific. And when you look at his job, yes, he is Big Boy's engineer, but his job title at Union Pacific is senior manager of the heritage program, I believe is what they call it. This is a guy that's responsible for dealing with budgets. He has staff. He deals with the executives. He's actually a senior level guy that's also out on the rails and knows how to operate these things. It's very very broad, very versatile skill set he has, and then he has to talk to knuckleheads from the media, and he does it very well. Just a very impressive man. And I also I touched on this at the beginning of the video, but it needs to be said again. Just a huge thank you to Union Pacific and the uh, the time Union Pacific granted me. I am sure would not have existed if it wasn't for all of the viewers of this channel. So thank you so much to you guys. The channel really blew up in the week ahead of this, and we could talk about how this came about in more detail at another time. But I'm like, wow, there's a lot of views right now, and I live in the Youngstown area, which is where Struthers, Ohio, is, where Big Boy was, and I decided, what the heck, I'm gonna take this recent success out for a spin and see what it can do. And I shot an email to Union Pacific, not really expecting that they would reply, and thinking that even if they did, they would just they would just politely, in a very corporate way, shoot me down. I gave myself very slim chances. I really didn't think it would happen, and it did, and that's because of all the success I enjoyed in the week leading up to this on YouTube. So thank you to all the viewers, and of course to Union Pacific. And I really wanted to have something profound or thoughtful or something even intelligent to say to wrap all of this up. And I recorded this a couple times now, this segment, and I'm struggling with that. And I will just say, in the next couple days, probably by the time this video airs, Big Boy will be in Indiana, and then Illinois. Then it's going down to Missouri. It'll be in St. Louis for a while, and then I believe to Kansas and Nebraska, and home to Cheyenne. Union Pacific's headquartered in Omaha, as you probably know, but the Big Boy and its team are at the Steamworks in Cheyenne, and it's still going to be on the road for uh, a few more weeks. And if you have the chance, even if it's uh, a couple hours away in the car or something like that, if you can make the time, make the trip to see this. It doesn't have to be at one of the whistle stops. These are I've been to a couple of these now, and they're incredibly busy. Struthers was absolutely insane, but the city like decided to throw a party and just make a day of it. I haven't seen anything like that before, and I reached out to the mayor. I think we're going to do a separate video on the economic impact of that. But um, even just like the small towns like Ripley, New York, I saw Big Boy in Ripley, New York, at that whistle stop. They're very busy, but you don't have to go to a whistle stop. Just go to a crossing somewhere along its route. The route is published on Union Pacific's website. Just go to a crossing, and um of course, you stay a safe distance back, be respectful, don't be on the tracks, don't be a fool, but just enjoy the sight of this thing going by. Something The first time I saw it was in Lorain, Ohio, a month ago. It's not the actual first time I've seen 4014, but it's the first time I saw it running on this trip. And the energy level, and how what a good mood everyone was in. And that as it I don't want to give you a lesson on Ohio geography, but as it left Lorraine, it and got into the inner suburbs of Cleveland and Lakewood and stuff, and Lakewood's a very different place. Uh, and not to be political in any way, but Lakewood's the kind of place where I thought, oh, I didn't think they would be, but it wouldn't have surprised me if there were people like protesting the train or something. Um, it's just that kind of community, and there was none of that. All those people who just have very different opinions from other people in Ohio and beyond. Everybody was just there to see the train, and they were excited about it and happy about it, and it was such an electric good feeling. Uh, it it was a very uniting, unifying experience, and I'm not trying to oversell that or claim that this 85-year-old machine gave me a religious experience or something. I don't want to sound like a nut job, but um, truly, there's a it's a little moment of euphoria when you're standing around all these people and everybody's excited about the same thing and rooting for the same thing and just wants to see it go. It's a hell of a thing.